an effort to deflect attention from the controversies plaguing him and to offer up a more conventional message to which he might be able to stick, Donald Trump rolled out a new 5-point ethics reform plan last night, framing himself as a Washington outsider who will cleanse the nation's center of power of its endemic corruption. His proposals include 5-year bans on lobbying for former executive branch officials and retired members of Congress. He wants to expand the definition of a lobbyist while banning former executive branch officials from lobbying for foreign governments. And Trump called for campaign finance changes that would prevent foreign lobbyists from raising money in U.S. elections. This afternoon, at a rally in Colorado Springs, Colorado, Trump added a 6th part to his shakeup list.
It is indeed time to drain the swamp in Washington, D.C. If I'm elected president, I will push for a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on all members of Congress. They've been talking about that for years. Decades of failure in Washington and decades of special interest dealing must and will come to an end.
Mark, as we suggested earlier, message discipline is kind of a foreign concept to Donald Trump, but if he has any, this is a message he's likely to keep driving at the debate here in Las Vegas tomorrow night. Do you think it is, first, good policy, and second, good politics?
I think it's pretty good policy. I tend to not like restrictions on the First Amendment, but I think that something has to be done to restore people's faith in the way Washington works, and one of the biggest suspicions they have is the way lobbying works. So I'm generally against stuff like this, but I could live with some of these provisions. I think term limits are silly.
Ridiculous.
But he's not going to have the message discipline to keep driving it. Right. His surrogates aren't going to bring it up because most of them don't believe in it. And it's too late. So it doesn't hurt. I think it's fine. Gives him something to talk about that's on message in terms of the Trump coalition. But 3 weeks to go, this kind of proposal, I don't think it'll make a big difference in the race.
What's the date today? October 18th? Is that right? October 18th,
right.
Okay. I disagree with many of these policies on policy grounds for some of the reasons you do. First Amendment grounds, I think term limits are ridiculous in many ways and actually deleterious to having people in office who know what they're doing. But just as a matter of politics, it's October 18th. This is the kind of thing that a normal Republican nominee who wanted to run as a populist reformer would have rolled out in May and talked about for 6 months.
Maybe May of last year.
For 6 months at least he should have been talking about this. This could, again, even though I disagree with it on policy grounds, this could be politically powerful and salient if he'd been talking about it,
and he could
not starting on October 18th.
And he could pair it with the fact that there's lobbyists all over the Clinton campaign and the Clinton orbit, but
crazy that it took him this long to get.
All right.